to me that this is a massive White House cover-up. And I think this last week, for anyone that was doubting that, I mean, that doubt should be gone. I mean, Donald Trump right now is obsessed with keeping these files hidden from the American public. And he's going to immense lengths and using presidential power and bringing in members of Congress to the Situation Room and doing everything he can to stop this release. And it's clear that right now, all arrows are pointing back to the White House. There is one man in our country that has the power right now to bring justice to the survivors and to release the files, and that's the President of the United States.
So I discussed how he's on the Democratic side, but to be fair, Thomas Massie is also helping on the Republican side to whip up votes to get this pushed through the House first, and then they'll push it through the Senate. So based upon his findings, what he is saying is that Trump always had the power to release the files, but they're having to push the issue because he doesn't want to. And then also later on in the interview, he discussed how Trump sat with Pam Bondi when he found out that his name was in the files. That's one of the reasons he doesn't want the files out. But then he also met with Lauren Boebert, which is another congresswoman, and she works on the Republican side. So Trump basically called in Republican congressmen because he's trying to delay this process. And he at first wanted to completely call it a hoax and brush it off and see if people would move forward. But the public as well as the Congress is holding his feet to the fire. He said he would release it. We want it released. So because he's basically seeing in the political headwinds that he can't get rid of this situation, he's now trying to get in front of the situation by having Pam Bondi and other people in the Justice Department look into Democrats who may have connections to Epstein as well. So what many people are saying is now that there's an open investigation, the Justice Department is going to say that despite what Congress says, they won't be able to comment or release anything because they're still investigating the situation with Epstein. This is drastically different from like 5 months ago when they said they looked into everything. Kash Patel came out and said, we've looked into everything. We found everyone. It was just Epstein and Maxwell, and they said there was no more information. So the case should have been closed. Therefore, they shouldn't still be investigating it. So we should get the information. But now Trump is trying to put an okie doke, and he's saying, oh, my name's in it. Let's see who else's name's in it. And let's continue to investigate to find out how broad, how many people were involved. That's just from the technical side. I also wanted to cover it more so in like from the cultural aspect. So we know about Donald Trump. We know about his history. He lived in the 90s pretty much in front of the limelight. So this woman, Heather Parton, kind of goes in detail about some of Trump's history that some of you may have forgotten or hadn't thought of recently. And this is from the Majority Report with Sam Seder.
Donald Trump said back in 2002, he's a good friend of mine, lots of fun to be with. And like me, he loves beautiful women, and some of them are on the younger side. I mean, we knew that. He knew that. He knew that Jeffrey Epstein had a bunch of younger girls around. And in that comment, it sounds to me like he was saying, yeah, and I like them younger too. So, I mean, and, you know, we've seen the stuff he says about young women, the Miss Teen Universe pageant, you know, all this stuff. So the idea now that suddenly we've got, oh, you know, look, Trump may have been involved in this after all. Of course.
She's speculating with a few things here, but some of these things were true. Trump has been known, or they have footage of him saying questionable things to teen pageants, as well as he said questionable things about his daughter Ivanka. But then also his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein is on the record. Actually, at one point, victims are saying that Trump's picture was on Epstein's desk. Not just Trump, but Trump and Epstein together. So basically, we already knew they were friends. And the speculation that she is drawing is she's saying that since Trump said he likes women on the younger side, she's speculating that that meant underage women. And then she's also speculating that when Trump said that Epstein likes women on the younger side, that Trump knew that it was underage women. So we don't have any proof that Trump likes underage women, and we also don't have any proof. Well, we do have proof on Epstein, but we don't have proof that Trump knew that Epstein was talking to underage women. Most people like myself do kind of think, okay, a lot of people may not know this, but in Britain and Europe, many countries, the age of consent is 16, and actually in some states in America, the age of consent is 16. So it's kind of one of those things where Donald Trump and Epstein, these are older guys. So back in their time, they may have not had the policy that, I subscribe to. And most people now, if they're under 18, you definitely don't talk to them or do anything sexual. Shoot, at my age, I'm not even talking to people under 21, right? So, but back in the day, men would talk to younger women. So you have these older men who maybe back in their time, they were pushing the envelope and they thought it was okay. But by the time we got to the 90s and 2000s, they should have known better. And I think that, I know Epstein was abusing women. And I actually do believe that other dignitaries, not just Harry, but potentially Trump, Clinton, etc., they pushed the envelope. They were powerful. They thought they could get away with it. So that's why I'm one of the people who, like most Americans, are saying, look, Trump had the term drain the swamp, but we want to get rid of these people who abused their power back in the day. So many of them are old, so maybe we can't punish them in the way that we would have if we would have caught them in the act or when they were younger and powerful. But still, we don't want to have these people still in the political sphere. So even though some of them may not be running for office, they still have money, etc. Whether they're Democrats or Republicans, they're still part of the machine. So I don't care whose side the people get caught on, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. I just think that they should no longer be a part of the power structure and the political machine in America. So again, there've been 20,000 emails have already come out. So more will come out, and then eventually the files will come out. So we'll just continue updating you guys on the stories, whether it's big names, etc. And I'll just state my opinion about, how I feel on both sides of anybody who does get caught or we find out more information about them. Now, in terms of, to close on this, some of the information may be trivial, right? So there's stuff coming out about Hillary Clinton had an affair and stuff like that. I don't think that's not abusing any minors, and that Hillary Clinton is no longer like running for office. So certain things, if it's something that has no impact on our lives, we won't cover it. I'm not so much into the salacious angle, but I am into, obviously, the hard criminals need to go to jail, and then anybody in power, we don't want them to continue to have an influence or say in our government. If you like this video, please smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. New shows airing Monday through Thursday.